I want to start by taking a moment before we jump into the real reason that we're here today to reflect on the challenges that we are all facing as a nation. These challenges profoundly remind me, as an educator and leader, to continue to look ahead with the goal of building a better, stronger future for our children. Helping ensure that we have equal access to great schools is just one way to build that future. So again, thank you for joining in. I'm next going to start by taking a little bit of a step back for a minute and begin by talking about how we got here today. So 7 years ago, Prospect Schools was invited by the Danbury community and its leaders to learn about the city and consider how our educational model could serve the students and the families here in Danbury. Danbury was and is the only large city in the state of Connecticut to be designated an Alliance District without a charter school. That Alliance District designation means that Danbury is entitled to the extra funding a state charter school would bring. The city is still not being granted that extra state funding. We were invited to Danbury, Prospect Schools was, because of the reputation of our program and our high-performing schools. We spent a full year considering the opportunity, learning about Danbury, and then we agreed that Prospect would be an ideal fit for this city. In 2015, we officially kicked off our work with the community to open Danbury Prospect. We assembled a local founding team to build a program that responded to community needs. And in 2017, we submitted our application for Danbury's first charter school. In 2018, after several large and well-supported public hearings, the Connecticut State Board of Education approved Danbury Prospect Charter School's application with high marks. That made our school one of only two to pass the very rigorous review process since 2015. The State Board of Education commended us at that time for spending considerable time building relationships in Danbury and for the community's strong support of our school plan. As of today, we've received the support of thousands of Danbury residents, as well as dozens of businesses, organizations, and faith institutions who support Danbury Prospect and want to get this school open. Today, I'm happy to officially announce that one of our supporters, a very generous donor from the Danbury community, has pledged to provide a school building for our students. We will share renderings of that building in a short while. So I want to put forth just a couple of questions that have been asked. The first one is, why open a new school? First, there's demand. Increased demand for seats is widely acknowledged in Danbury, and we would help Danbury be proactive about this growth, especially as at the middle and high school levels. Second, this makes economic sense for Danbury. Opening a state-funded public charter school will bring a new stream of dollars to public education in Danbury. It will also bring jobs to the community. And third, this is an equity issue. Families want options. They want the ability to choose the right program for their children. And as I mentioned earlier, Danbury is the only large city in Connecticut with an Alliance District designation, a designation intended to ensure the city's students are more equitably funded, that has not yet received the extra state funding allowable for a charter. The next question that's often asked, how can we answer the call of the community and get Danbury Prospect open? It's simple. Now that we have secured a building and readied our program, our final need is for the governor to include Danbury Prospect in his upcoming executive budget. This state funding is not only necessary for Danbury Prospect to operate in Connecticut, but it will also enable Danbury to unlock this very generous philanthropic gift of a school building in downtown Danbury. Once the governor allocates that revenue stream to Danbury, this gift will save the city and state over $100 million in capital expenses. It will also immediately begin to provide over 100 jobs, support the city's downtown revitalization initiative, and answer the call of over 3,000 Danbury families who are asking for more educational opportunities. Over the past 7 years, Danbury Prospect has built a strong coalition of diverse supporters with different perspectives. Some of our supporters are here to share their thoughts with you today. So then after a short speaking program, we'll open the floor to questions from the press. So thank you for listening to me. And with that, I would like to welcome our first speaker, who, like Prospect Schools, was born in Brooklyn. It's my great pleasure to welcome Mayor Joseph Cabo.
Penny, thank you, and thank you for having me here today. It's my pleasure to be with you all to talk about the need for Prospect Charter School here in Danbury. I have been a longtime supporter of the charter school projects, as well as the former Mayor Mark Boughton. You know, the gift of a building to the community has unbelievable ramifications. One of the great parts of this is the fact that we take the burden off our taxpayers here for building a new school. And in this current economic climate, in the COVID crisis, you know, the last thing we want to do is go to taxpayers and ask them to fund the building of a new school. So this is a great gift, and your organization, as well as your donor, have provided Danbury with a great opportunity to improve our schooling here in Danbury and improve school choices, you know, for parents and for students. And so we're grateful to you for that. And we asked the governor, and we wish the governor get well wishes on his hip surgery. We hope that he recovers well from that. We are asking him to please include the funding for the Danbury Prospect Charter Schools in his executive budget for the 21-22 year. Our diverse community will be served very well by this downtown campus, and we are pleased to put our support behind this organization, and we're looking forward to positive things from Hartford when it comes to the budget process for this coming year. You know, Danbury Prospect Charter Schools will allow Danbury the ability to continue the excellence in education that we strive for here every day. And this is just another piece in the puzzle, gives our parents and our students an opportunity for challenging and educational opportunities that everyone deserves. So thank you very much, Penny. I appreciate the opportunity to speak today, and I'll be here for questions as well.
Great. Thank you, Mayor Cabo. And I do join you in wishing Governor Lamont a speedy recovery. So next, I'd like to introduce PJ Parente. You all know him well, I suspect. He's the president and CEO of the Greater Danbury Chamber of Commerce.
Excellent. Thank you, Penny. Appreciate the intro, along with all your hard work on behalf of Prospect. And my congratulations to Mayor Cabo in his new role. The Chamber looks forward to working with you and your administration on this important initiative, of course, but many others as well. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for the opportunity to participate in today's exciting announcement. It's certainly big news for our community, and most importantly, really our children. And I actually had the opportunity to take a trip down to Brooklyn Prospect School in New York City. I think it was a little over 3 years ago, and I was completely blown away about the entire operation of the charter school, of course, starting with the students, to the teachers, administrators, and most importantly, the curriculum that's being built around the academically challenging international baccalaureate framework, which is really an absolute perfect fit for our Danbury students. You know, it's not often Chamber of Commerce's weigh in on public education matters. And back in October of 2018, when I spoke in front of the State Board of Education in support of Danbury Prospect, they too found it interesting that a business association would opine on this matter. But the reality is, education and economic vitality could not be more dependent upon one another. You know, from the Chamber's perspective, we see this as a huge win for the city of Danbury and really the surrounding towns, in large part due to the direct correlation between quality education options and the desire to live and invest in our community. And one of the highest concerns for families either looking to stay or move to an area is the access to quality education. And having Danbury Prospect Charter School located right here in the heart of our city would help really accomplish just that. So I appreciate the opportunity to offer some of my thoughts. On behalf of the Chamber, I look forward to what lies ahead for Danbury Prospect School, and we will continue to be a champion of this initiative. I am pleased to introduce our next speaker, former president of the Dominican Club of Connecticut, and founding president of LEAD, an education advocacy group that's based right here in Danbury. Xiomara McNabb, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Can you guys see me? Okay, perfect. My name is Xiomara McNabb, and I'm a proud product of Danbury Public System. I'm a proud parent of 4 and the founding president of LEAD, Latinos for Education Advocacy in Danbury. As a student, I was an English language learner. I had firsthand the struggles of our students. I have the same struggles with my children today. I wake up every day knowing that I have to advocate for my children and my community. If they're going to receive the education they deserve, I have to be the one to help them. That's why a group of parents and I founded LEAD, a coalition of activists, faith leaders, organizations, and educators. It has been our mission for the last 2 years to advocate for a quality education policy and uplift children like our own, especially for Danbury. We believe that the PCS is the perfect fit for Danbury because they are committed to advocacy, they support English language learners, and they run excellent schools in Brooklyn, like we have mentioned before. I believe our students will feel more secure by being mentored and by educators that look similar and have a similar background. I think that, like I have been to the Brooklyn schools, and it looks like the diversity that the students have, they match the teachers. Even when they are in different class, you see all the students are diverse and similar with the teachers as well, which makes them more comfortable for them to learn and aspire to be someone better. We are confident that with the governor's support, we will be able to open Danbury Prospect this fall. Thank you. And next, please welcome Tyrone Elliott, an educator and mentor originally from Danbury.
Good afternoon, folks. Excited to be here to speak on behalf of Danbury Prospect School in this kind of unique opportunity. Again, my name is Tyrone Elliott. I'm a parent, coach, and school director of a charter school here in Bridgeport called Bridge Academy. I'm so excited, for this wonderful opportunity for Danbury Prospect. The community really deserves this school. Danbury residents are the kind of the picture perfect diversity and really kind of uphold, upward mobility for people of color. A school that reflects this diversity will help bring about a new chapter of equity and excellence to the educational landscape in our city. I've seen firsthand the positive impacts that great teachers, mentors, and schools can have on students. When those teachers and those mentors look like students they serve, that impact is magnified. Danbury Prospect's commitment to not only serving a diverse student body, but also hiring a teaching staff that mirrors the diversity of its students is a tremendous asset to Danbury and their students. Not all students excel in a one-size-fits-all education system. Danbury Prospect will bring a much needed fresh approach to education that our families need and want. We are thankful for the generous donation that could help get them closer to realizing the dream of open Danbury Prospect School and bring an amazing educational opportunity to Danbury. Next, I'd like to introduce a business owner who operates Christian Multi-Services right here in Danbury, Albert Collado.
I think we might have lost Albert.
I see him there. I think he's on mute.
He's on mute.
Albert, I'm sorry.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
We got you.
Okay, great. Tyrone, thank you very much for the introduction. My name is Albert Collado, as stated before. I am a Danbury resident. I'm also a parent and one of the owners and runners of Christian Multi Services. We are a company that provides an array of services in Danbury for the residents, including tax preparation, insurance, and so on. I've been, for the last 17 years or so, I've been advising clients on how to save money. And there's one thing that we all agree on: schools are definitely costly. There's no two ways about it. Our community needs a new school, but it's really tough for us to ask our community members, especially those people who are retired, to pay for the tax hike that would entice having to open a new school in the area. Supporting the opening of Danbury Prospect is going to save all of our residents money, including myself. The school is directly funded by the state. The building, as everybody mentioned before, provided by a very generous donor. We see it as a win-win situation for parents, for students, and certainly for taxpayers. As we all know, COVID-19 has had a devastating impact on our city, on our businesses, on our children's education. And believe me, I hear it every day from my son that's still, having to do from home education. We face the uncertainty of potential budget cuts in education, certainly greater demands for seats, and the economic impact the pandemic has had on all the working families. And as a business owner, a Danbury resident and a proud parent, I'm also excited to offer my support to the Danbury Prospect downtown campus. I believe that the economic impact of Danbury Prospect just simply can't be underestimated. Danbury Prospect is not only going to create jobs, it's going to unlock a stream of per pupil funding from the state. It's going to literally save millions of dollars in capital funding while spurring the economic growth in the downtown Danbury that we need. Our students and businesses will both benefit from the Danbury Prospect, and we certainly would like to and need this school to open this year. I would like to turn this over to Gabby Perez. She's also a Danbury resident. She's a recent Danbury High School graduate and also a community organizer. Gabby, go ahead and take it.
All right. Thank you so much, Albert, for that introduction. And thank you all for giving me a platform to share a few words with you guys. As Albert said, I'm a lifelong Danbury resident, and I actually graduated high school with his daughter as well. We were really good friends. And I am over the moon over the opening of Danbury Prospect Charter School, because I know personally how beneficial this school will be to our community, because it'll allow parents to evaluate their child's needs and give them the chance to choose which form of education is best for them. When I was a student, I remember loving my high school experience, but wishing that I had smaller classroom sizes in order to connect with my teachers on a more personal level. So I am absolutely thrilled that moving forward, this option will be available for other students to take advantage of. And another reason I wholeheartedly support Danbury Prospect is because it will help our city meet the Latino community's needs for diversity and equity. This school strives to create a safe place in which staff and student reflect our community, and every student can feel represented and cared for. When students are taught by educators who look like and sound like them, they blossom into leaders. And also, Danbury families have been very unified in their support of DPCS. I've met with thousands and hundreds of supporters. They've called and emailed their elected officials. We've held rallies, we've been to the Capitol, and now we have a donor providing millions of dollars for a school building. Our community has spoken loud and clear, and now I ask Governor Lamont to please include Danbury Prospect Charter School in his upcoming budget and give Danbury families the gift of a new tuition-free school with an international curriculum and diverse teaching staff. Our community members have shown so much support, and now it's time for our elected leaders to act. I sincerely hope Danbury families will be able to reap the benefits of Danbury Prospect Charter School. So now I will turn it back to Penny. Thank you so much for emceeing this event, and she will let us know what the next steps are.
Thank you, Gabby. And thank you to each of our Danbury leaders who has just had the opportunity to share the importance of accepting this generous donation and opening Danbury Prospect. Again, we need Governor Lamont to answer the demands of the Danbury community and include us in his upcoming budget.